Question number 1. The line graph shows the percent of cars for sale at a used car lot on a given day by model year. For what model year is the percent of cars for sale the smallest? So here we are given a line graph, and we are asked to find the year at which the line graph has its lowest value. So as you can notice, the lowest value is at this point here, and this point corresponds to the year 2014. Therefore, the answer is choice C. Question number 2. For a particular machine that produces beads, 29 out of every 100 beads is produced have a defect. A bead produced by the machine will be selected at random. What is the probability of selecting a bead that has a defect? For every 100 beads chosen, 29 will have a defect. Therefore, the probability will be 29 over 100. So the answer is choice C. Question number 3. In the figure, line M is parallel to line N, and line T intersects both lines. What is the value of X? So here we need to find the value of X. And we are given another angle as well, which is equal to 33. We know that opposite angles are equal. Therefore, this angle is equal to 33 as well. And that angle here is the same as this angle, which is 33. And because opposite angles are equal, this angle here is equal to 33. Now we can find the value of X. We know that a line has a total angle of a measurement of 180 degrees. Therefore, 180 is equal to X plus 33. Then we will subtract 33 from both sides. So we will have X equal to 147. So the answer is choice D. What is the y-intercept of the graph shown? So here we should find the point at which this line here, this graph here, is intersecting the y-axis. And we'll find out that at 8, the intersection occurs. Therefore, the y-intercept occurs at the point 0 and 8. So the answer is D. The total cost f of x in dollars to lease a car for 36 months from a particular car dealership is given by f of x equal to 36x plus 1000, where x is a monthly payment in dollars. What is the total cost to lease a car when the monthly payment is equal to 400? So here we are given a function, and we are asked to find the value of f of x when x is equal to 400, because he said that the monthly payment is equal to 400 and x is a monthly payment. So the next step will be plugging in 400 into the function given. So the answer will be 36 multiply 400 plus 1000. 36 multiplied 400 will be equal to 14,400 plus 1000 will equal to 15,400, which is answer C. Next question. Each side of a square has a length of 45. What is the perimeter of this square? So we are given a square, and we know that the length of each side in this square is equal to 45. And we know that the square have 4 sides. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we will multiply 45 by 4 to get the perimeter of this square. 45 multiplied 4 is equal to 180. And that's the answer for this question, because the perimeter of any shape is equal to the length of all the sides of this shape. Question number 9. The list gives values in data sets X and Y. Which statement correctly compares the mean of dataset X and the mean of dataset Y? So First, let's have a look on dataset X. In dataset X, we have four values, which are 5, 9, 9, and 13. While in dataset Y, we have another value which is way greater than the other values listed. Therefore, the mean of dataset Y will be greater than the mean of dataset X. In other words, X will be less than Y. And that is the same as answer B, which says that the mean of dataset X is less than the mean of dataset Y. In case you want to make sure that your answer is correct, we can use the arithmetic mean rule. So the dataset X will have a mean of 5 plus 9 plus 9 plus 13 over the number of values given, which is 4. So the mean of dataset X will equal to 9. Now let's check dataset Y. The mean of dataset Y will be 5 plus 9 plus 9 plus 13 plus 27 over the number, which is 5. And that will equal to 12.6. So as you can see, X is less than Y. Question number 10. A rocket contained this number of kilograms of propellant before launch. Exactly 21 seconds after launch, it contained this number of kilograms of this propellant. On average, approximately how much propellant in kilograms did the rocket burn each second after the launch? Now you need to think of this question as a linear function, where the values of y is equal to the kilograms and the values of x is equal to seconds. And you should notice that you are given 2 points. The first point is 0 and 4, 6, 7, and the second point is equal to 21 and 362,105 kilograms. And he asks you to find the slope, or the approximately how much propellant in kilogram did the rocket burn each second. That's equal to slope. So you are required to find the slope of this function, and you already have 2 points. So what we're going to do is finding the slope by plugging in these values into the slope formula, which says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equal to the slope. Now y2 is the same as this value here, and y1 is similar for this one, similar to that one. x2 is equal to 21 and x1 is equal to 0. Plugging these values into your calculator, you will have a 4,995, and that's the value that this rocket burns each second. So the answer for this question is choice A. Question number 11. If 4x plus 2 is equal to 12, what is the value of 16x plus 8? You should notice that this function here is a multiple of 4 of that one. If you multiply 4x by 4, you will get 16x, and if you multiply 2 by 4, you will get an 8. Now, if we multiply 12 by 4, we will get 48. So 48 is the answer for this question. Question number 12. An object is kicked from a platform. The equation h equal to negative 4.9 t to the power of 2 plus 7t plus 9 represents this situation, where h is the height of the object above the ground in meters and t is the seconds after it is kicked. Which number represents the height in meters from which the object was kicked? So here he wants the point at which the object was kicked, and that point corresponds to a time value which is equal to 0. Therefore, we are looking for the h value that corresponds to the t value when it is equal to 0. So what we are going to do is plugging in 0 into this function. So we will find out that these two expressions will cancel out and we will be left with 9. So the answer for this question is choice D. Question number 13. The given equation defines the function f. For what values of x does f of x reach its minimum? Whenever you find questions that ask you to find a minimum or a maximum of a given quadratic function, think of the vertex. So we know that the x value of the vertex, or h in this case, is equal to negative b over 2a. b is the correspondent to x, which is equal to negative 50. So we will have a negative multiply negative 50. And a is a correspondent to x to the power of 2, which is 4. So we'll have a 2 multiply 4. And that will equal to 50 divided by 8. And 50 divided by 8 is equal to 6.25. So the answer for this question is 6.25. Small business owner budgets $200,000 to purchase candles. The owner must purchase a minimum of 200 candles to maintain the discounted pricing. If the owner pays $4.9 per candle to purchase small candles and $11.6 for large candles, what is the maximum number of large candles that the owner can purchase to stay within the budget and maintain the discounted pricing? So in this question we should write down a system of equation. Okay, first let's write down a system of equation that relates the large candles, the number of large candles, and the number of small candles. We know that the total number of candles is equal to 200. Therefore, 200 will equal to the number of small candles, let's say S, plus the number of large candles, which is L. Now, we know that now the other equation will be relating the price of the total small candles and the total large candles to the total price or the total budget of the owner of the small business, which is $2,200. So we write $2,200 equal to 4.9 S, because he said that the owner pays 4.9 for each small candle, plus 11.6 multiply the number of large candles. Now he asks us to find the value of L, or the number of large candles. So we need to solve for L. A quick way to do that is by cancelling the values of S. And we can do that by multiplying the first equation by 4.9. So we will have a 4.9S plus 4.9L, and 200 multiply 4.9 is equal to 980. The next step is subtracting. Now 2200 minus 980 is equal to 1220. S will cancel out, and 11.6 minus 4.9 is equal to 6.7. The next step is dividing 6.7 in both sides. So we will have L equal to 182. And that's the answer for this question. Question number 15. In the linear function f of 0 is equal to 8 and f of 1 is equal to 12. Which equation defines the function f? Now f of 0 equal to 8 is the similar as 0 and 8. 0 and 8 represents the y-intercept of the linear function. And we know that the y-intercept is this value here that does not correspond to x. So we need a function that have a y-intercept equal to 8. Therefore, we will cancel both c because it has a y-intercept equal to 12 and b because it have a y-intercept equal to 0. You are given another point, and you should notice that when we increase the value of x by 1, the value of y increased by 4. So the slope of this function is equal to 4, and the slope is a correspondent to x values in the linear function. Therefore, the answer is choice D, because in choice A we have a slope which is equal to 12. Question number 16. The function f of w equal 6w to the power of 2 gives the area of a rectangle in the square feet. If its width is w feet and its length is 6 times its width, which of the following is the best interpretation of f of 14 equal to 1176? So here we know that w is equal to 14, and we know when we plug in w equal to 14 into the function of f of w, we will get the value of 6w to the power of 2, which is in this case is equal to 1176, which is similar as the square feet. So w in this function is similar to the width, and 100 and 1176 is similar to square feet, or the area of the rectangle. So the answer for this question will be letter A, because it says if the width of the rectangle is equal to 14 feet, then the area will be equal to 1176 feet squared. Number 17. The circle shown has center O, circumference equal to 144 pi, and diameters BR and QS. The length of arc PS, which is this one here, is twice the length of arc BQ, which is that one in blue. What is the length of arc QR? So he needs the length of this arc, and the length of this arc is similar to the length of arc PS, because both of these angles are opposite to each other, and opposite angles are equal. Now we know that this angle here is twice that angle, and we know that the total angles of a circle is equal to 360 degrees. So what we are going to do is that adding all these values and summing them up to 360 and then solving for x. So we will have 6x equal to 360. 360 divided by 6 is equal to 60. So the value of the smaller angle, is equal to 60 degrees, while the value of the bigger angles, the larger angles, is equal to 120. Now let's go back to the circumference. We are told that the total circumference of the circle is equal to 144 pi, but we only want to find the circumference of this arc here, which is arc QR. In order to do that, we will multiply the total circumference by the portion of this arc relative to the circle, which is 120 divided by 360. 120 is the angle degree of this arc, and 360 is equal to the total angles inside this circle. And that will give us our answer, which is 48 pi. So the answer for this question is choice B. Question number 18. A company that provides whale watching tours takes groups of 21 people at a time. The company's revenue is $80 per adult and $60 per child. If the company's revenue for one group consisting of adults and children was $1,440, how many people in the group were children? So in this question we have to write down a system of equation. First, let's start with the total number of adults and children in this question. Let's say that the total number of adults A plus total number of children C is equal to 21, which is given here. Now we know that the money the companies gain from each adult is equal to $80, and the money gained from each child is equal to $60. And that will equal to the total amount of money this company gained, which is $1,440. Now the next step is finding the number of children, which is C. And we can do that by eliminating the values of A. So a smart tip we can do is multiplying the first equation by 80. So we will have 80A plus 80C is equal to 21 multiply 80. So we'll write that down again. 21 multiply 80 is equal to 1680. Next step is subtracting. Subtracting these two equations, we will cancel out the values of A. 60 minus 80 is equal to negative 20C. And 1440 minus 1680 is equal to negative 240. Then we will divide negative 240 by negative 20. Dividing these two values, we will get value of C, which is equal to 12. So the answer for this question is choice C. Question number 19. The function h is defined by h of x equal to 4x plus 28. The graph of y equal to h of x is in the xy plane, has an x-intercept at a and 0, and a y-intercept at 0 and b, where a and b are constants. What is the value of a plus b? So in this question we need to find the value of x-intercept, which is a, and the value of the y-intercept, which is b, and then add them together to get our answer. Let's start with the value of the y-intercept because it's pretty direct. It's written right in front of us, which is 28. So we know that the value of b is equal to 28. Now the next step is finding the value of a, or the x-intercept. We know that at the x-intercept, the value of y is equal to 0. So what we are going to do is plugging in the values of y into this equation and then solving for x. So we will have a 0 equal to 4x plus 28. Subtracting 28 from both sides, we will have negative 28 equal to 4x. Then we will divide by 4. So we will have a value of x equal to negative 7. Value of a, or the x-intercept, in this function is equal to negative 7. The last step is adding a and b. Negative 7 plus 28 is equal to 21. So the answer for this question is choice A. One of the factors of 2x to the power of 3 plus 42x to the power of 2 plus 208x is x plus b, where b is a positive constant. What is the smallest possible value of b? So first step here is taking the least common multiple out of this function. The least common multiple out of this function will be 2x. Dividing by 2x. In the first expression, we will be left with x power 2. Dividing by 2x. In the second expression, we will be left with 21x. And then the last expression will turn to be 104. Now the next step will be finding the factors of this function. The factors of this function could be found by getting out two values that have a product of 104 and a sum of 21. We can try out 8 and 13. 8 multiplied 13 is equal to 104, and if we added them up, we will have 21. So x plus 8 will be one factor of this function, and x plus 13 will be the other factor of this function. Of course, we have another factor, which is 2x. Anyway, our answer is in the form of x plus b. So it should be one of these two factors. And he told us that the answer is the smallest possible value. And the smallest possible value of b is equal to 8. So the answer for this question is 8. Question number 21. We are given a system of equations where a is a positive constant, and the system has exactly one real solution, and he's asking us to find the values of a. First, you should notice that the value of a is the y-intercept of the quadratic function given. And in order to find the value of a, we have to know at least one point that lay down on this quadratic function. So we need to know one value of x and its corresponding value of y. Now the first equation given represents a horizontal line. And he said that this system of equations have only one real solution. That means that this horizontal line here intersects the quadratic function only one time. That means that it intersects at the vertex point of the quadratic function. So if this is the quadratic function here, the horizontal line will be crossing it at this exact point, which is the vertex. If he told us that the system intersects or have two real solutions, the horizontal line will be something like that. If it didn't have any solutions, the horizontal line will be like this. But in our case here, he told us that they intersect at exactly one point, which is the vertex point in this case. We know values of y at which the vertex point occurs, which is given here at negative 1.5. In order to find the values of x, we should use the vertex point rule, which says h equal to negative b over 2 multiply a, where h is the x-coordinate of the vertex point, b is the coefficient of x, which is 8, and a is the coefficient of x to the power of 2, which in this case is equal to 1. So we can rewrite that as h equal to negative 8 over 2 multiply 1, which is the same as negative 4. So now we know that the x-coordinate of the x-coordinate of the vertex point in this quadratic function is equal to negative 4, and the y-coordinate of the vertex point is equal to negative 1.5. The last step is plugging in these values into the quadratic function given and then solving for a. So we will have a negative 1.5 equal to negative 4 to the power of 2 plus 8 multiply multiply negative 4 plus a. Now, negative 4 to the power of 2 is equal to 16. 8 multiply negative 4 is equal to negative 32 plus a, and that's equal to negative 1.5. Then the next step is subtracting these two values, so we will have a negative 16 plus a equal to 1.5, negative 1.5. Then we will add 16 both sides, so we will have a equal to 16 minus 1.5, which is equal to 14.5. So the answer for this question is 14.5. For the function q, the value q of x decreases by 45% for every increase in the value of x by 1. If q of 0 is equal to 14, which equation defines q? So we will plug in 0 into this equation given. The first answer will turn out to be incorrect because we'll be left with 0.55 multiply 1, which is equal to 0.55. So A is incorrect. The same thing will be with B because it will equal 1.45. But we will be left with both answer C and D because both of them will equal to 14. Now let's have another look into the question. The question says the value of q of x decreases by 45% for every increase of x. Ratio greater than 1, a ratio greater than 1 means that the function is increasing, and a ratio less than 1 means that the function is decreasing. Okay, in answer D we have a ratio that's greater than 1. 1.45 is greater than 1. Therefore, answer D is incorrect. So we will be left with answer C. And question number 24. The graph of y equal f of x plus 14 is shown. Which equation defines function f? So let's have a look into the graph. You can see that the graph have a y-intercept equal to 2. And this graph is shifted up 14 units. So what we are going to do is subtracting the y-intercept by 14. So 2 minus 14 is equal to negative 12. And that will be the original y-intercept of the function f before shifting it up 14 units. The only answers that have a y-intercept equal to negative 12 is choice A. Therefore, it is a correct answer. Question number 25. The side length of right triangle RST are given. Triangle RST is similar to the triangle U, V, and W, where S corresponds to V and T corresponds to W. What is the value of tan W? So first, let's draw this triangle. The hypotenuse is the longest side, which is given as 52, which is line TR. And this is S, and this is T, ST. ST is equal to 48, and SR is equal to 20. Now, what about the corresponding values in the similar triangle? It is said that S corresponds to V. So let's denote V here under S, and T corresponds to W. So we'll write W here. And he's asking us about the value of tan W because angle W is similar to angle T. Tan W will be similar to tan of T. So let's find the tan of T. Tangent is equal to the opposite divided by the adjacent, which is 20 divided by 48. So tan W is equal to 20 divided by 48. Simplifying that, we will have 5 over 12. So the answer for this question will be answer B. Question number 27. The number A is greater than B by 110%. So A is equal to 110% greater than B, which is 2.1 B. Okay? When it's said that a number or a value is greater than another value by a certain percentage, what you're going to do is adding that percentage, let's say B, into this formula, which is 100 over 100. Okay, so 100 plus B over 100 is similar to 100 plus the percentage given, which is 110 over 100. So we will be left with 210 over 100. 210 over 100 is equal to 2.1. So A is equal to 2.1 multiply B. Now, what about number B? It said that number B is 90% less than 47. When it is said that a certain value is less than another value, we will write down the same rule, but instead of adding, we will subtract by the percentage given. So the percentage given here is equal to 90. So we will have 100 minus 90 over 100, which is equal to 10 over 100. So the value of B is equal to 0.1 multiply 47. 0.1 multiply 47 is equal to 4.7. So B is equal to 4.7. The next step will be plugging in the value of B into this equation to find the value of A. So A will be equal to 2.1 multiply 4.7. 2.1 multiply 4.7 is equal to 9.87, and this will be the value of A and the answer for this question.